right, for our first artboard, we're going to draw 5 squares, and then we're going to draw 5 circles. Then we're going to add the text, Swatches, Library, Pattern, Decorative. And we're going to fill each of these with a different pattern. So I'm going to start over here with my new pattern. So remember, so if we want to draw it complete square, we can hold the Shift key down, and that will constrain, i.e. make sure that we only have that one. And we're going to leave a little bit of space at the top for our text. So then we can just hold the Alt key down, okay, and duplicate these right down. We may need to go back and add a little bit of space in between there. And again, if these got a little bit outside, we can hold our Alt key, draw down to select all of them, and in our line, we can click right here. Okay, and then to get practice, we're going to draw our ellipse. So again, I'm going to hold the Shift key down so I can draw an exact one here. Okay, then I can hold the Alt key. Okay, and then I can even try to make sure that each of these are in the middle part of the square. You don't have to, but if you finish early, you may want to do that. Okay, now the next part is I want to go and add my text. Okay, just click the T and start to type. Swatches. So once we get our shapes drawn, this is how easy it is. We're going to go to Window and Swatches, so make sure you have that typed at the top so you don't forget. And we're going to click our library here. The first library we're going to look in is Patterns. And for this one, we're going to use Decorative Legacy. Okay, so here are my Decorative Legacy patterns. I can click and I can show a large thumbnail view. That's easy to look at. Or if you want to see the names, you could do a large list view, and that's going to list all of them down here. So if you're trying to find one with an exact name, you probably want to use the list view. If not, you can use the thumbnail. And it is literally as quick and easy as just clicking inside and then just clicking a different pattern. Okay, so make sure you use a different pattern on each of these. Okay. Now I want to name this artboard and insert another. So I'm going to go to Window, Artboards. I'm going to double click on Artboard 1, and I'm going to name this Pattern Decorative. I'll click right here and add a new artboard. We're going to be doing basically the same thing. This time we're going to be using some stars. Although we want to make sure our fill is empty, so then in a minute we can go and fill it with different patterns. This time I want to duplicate my stars and my polygon. So I can hold my Alt key and select both of these, then hold my Alt key and drag down. At the top of the stars, add the text Library Pattern Monster. At the top of the polygons, add the text Libraries, Pattern, Animal, and Foliage. Again, we're going to go to our Window, Swatches, and our Library. This time for the stars, we're going to go to Pattern, Decorative, and Monster Patterns. So we have these right up here, our monster patterns. And again, I like to use the large thumbnail. Oops, sorry there, got a little bit too happy. All right, so we're going to select each one and then just click inside and apply the pattern. Now, if you look right down here at the bottom, you have some arrows, so that will let us go to the next swatch library. So the next one, we have some animal prints here. maybe you're doing a report on the Auburn Tigers and you need tiger print. And then we're going to arrow over one more time. And then on this last set of 3, you can go and choose any of the nature foliage patterns that you are interested in. A little bit later, we will learn how to go back and actually edit a pattern. If you have a pattern in there that then you want to change the color to. All right, now we need to go ahead and save this artboard and name it. So again, we're going to go to Window and Artboards. Artboard 2, we're going to name it as Vonster. And all right, so again, on your notes, make sure you go and you type the text Window Graphic Style Scribble Effects. So to review, I could go to Window, Graphic Styles, and then I can click on the library. Okay, and I want to go to Scribble Effects. And again, make sure with your direct selection tool, you select the box. You can see that because of the bounding. All right, and choose any of these scribble effects that are in there. Scribble effects are some of my favorite ones. Okay, and then next we're going to go back and draw some circles on the right side. And with these, we're going to go through and instead we're going to use graphic styles and texture effects. Now after you have two, you can also just hold your mouse and select these 2 shapes and let go. Now they're both selected. Hold the Alt key down and then you can just drag down twice. And again, hold the Alt key down, click in the center, and drag down. Now on these, we're going to use texture effects. So just scroll over to the next section. Sorry, I need to make sure I duplicate those. So again, now if you had specific directions that told you exactly, you can change the view and go to a small list view, or you could do a large list view. So again, so on your exam, if they said to use the one RGB Cresty, then that would need to be the exact one that you use. So sometimes they may or may not give you an exact name. So if they tell you to do Ocean Basin, you can go in and look at the exact name. Next, I'll go back and again view my artboards, and we're going to do something to make this next one a little bit easier. Okay, so Artboard 3, I need to double click it. And I want to rename this as Graphic Styles Scribble Texture. Now if I wanted to, I can duplicate a artboard. So I'm going to click Artboard 3 and click my options here, and I'm going to duplicate that artboard. However, I'm going to go ahead and rename it. Okay, and I've renamed this last one Graphic Style, Artistic, and Text. Okay, I can even see it right down here. So this time, instead of Scribble Effects, I want to insert the word Artistic. And instead of Texture Effects, I want to change it to Type. And guess what we're going to do now? We're going to go to Window, Graphic Styles. We're already in the thing, and the first one we're going to go to is Artistic Effects. Okay, and then we're just going to click on each one of these and just click once, and we can change each of these. So on this step, we're not going to spend the time and actually make all of the shapes. In this case, what we did is we just copy and pasted an artboard. And then that's going to make that a little bit easier and quicker for us to change that. Okay, and then the second one. Okay, I'm just going to kind of arrow through here. I've got my image effects, neon effects, scribble, textures, and I'm going to use the type effects. Okay, now some of these may change your shapes a little bit. That's okay. If you want to, you can kind of go and change these up a little bit. Okay, to kind of add these a little bit more space. Okay, now after we have all these, there's also a couple ways that we can look at this. We can go to View, and we can do Fit All in Window, and that will let us see all 4 of our artboards at once. Maybe we want to go back and focus on artboard 3. We can do View, Artboard, Fit in Window. Okay, down here at the bottom, we can arrow through our different artboards. And again, as long as they are named, that's going to make that a lot easier. And at the end, we can go and export this.